Armed groups and lone gunmen are increasingly targeting humanitarian workers with vicious attacks. These attacks are called active shooter incidents. Because of the work we do and the locations we find ourselves in, World Vision staff are especially susceptible to attack.
Gunmen had taken around 170 people hostage.
One witness said the gunmen were silent and calm and just shot people randomly.
Over the last several years, there have been over 750 active shooter incidents worldwide, with over 8,500 casualties. The vast majority of these incidents target individuals in their place of residence or in the workplace. When an active shooter incident occurs, you only have moments to react. Always be prepared for the worst. With the appropriate reactions and decisions, your chances of surviving these situations can be increased significantly. You need to know how to react whether in the office, in the field, or while traveling. When an active shooter situation develops, the shooter typically fires randomly, looking for the easiest targets to hit. The harder you are to see or shoot at, the better your chances of surviving.
Hi everyone, and thanks.
Your three immediate choices will be get away, find cover, and defend yourself. The ideal response is to get as far away from the situation as possible, but you may have to find cover first if your exit routes are not safe. If you are unable to get away, you will need to find cover in a room or behind solid walls or thick objects. As a last resort, you may need to defend yourself, using anything at hand that can be used as a weapon. Remember, the goal in an active shooter situation is to survive. You must react as quickly and safely as possible to increase your chances of survival. After each decision, you should take no more than 5 seconds to reassess and take the next decision. The first 5-second plan is the immediate action drill when coming under fire. It is relevant for all types of incoming fire. When you hear gunshots, you have 5 seconds to drop to the ground and get low. Being low to the ground creates a very small target for a shooter. Orient to the threat and breathe. Know where the threat is coming from and what type of threat it is, if possible. This will determine what cover they use, what direction you move in, and how they move. Remember to breathe. This will help you to not panic. Orient to cover. Identify the initial piece of cover that will quickly buy you some time before you move again. Move to cover. Maintain a low profile and move to cover as quickly as possible. Ideally as soon as the threat has been oriented to and cover identified. Reassess and repeat until safe. You are never safe until the threat can no longer reach you. Cover does not make you completely safe. It only buys you time. Hesitation could be more dangerous than taking a wrong decision. Always remember to breathe and to remain as calm as you can. When you hear gunshots, you have 5 seconds to drop and move to cover as quickly as possible.
There's someone with a gun. Get out the window!
Over time, you can become insensitive to the small threats in your everyday environment. This is called risk habituation. Risk habituation can be fatal. It is important to stay alert at all times to mitigate your risk. Tragedy can strike in the most ordinary of circumstances, on the most routine of days.
We just need to up the flame a little bit and move the plates around, and then I think we can figure it out as we go along.
The most effective way to find cover inside a room is to lock and barricade the door. Turn off the lights, move away from windows and doors, silence your cell phone, and call or text for help as soon as possible. Assist others only if you can do so without jeopardizing your own safety. World Vision offices should have emergency exit plans posted and trauma kits readily available. Always be alert and look for opportunities to move safely and put as much distance as possible between you and the shooter. Be aware that if you can see the shooter can see you too. This could be fatal. If you find cover, remember that there are two types of cover: cover from fire and cover from view. Bullets can penetrate the majority of objects, including walls and cars, so don't assume that being hidden means you're safe. In most office and field settings, there are very few objects that will provide cover from fire. When you run, speed and distance are your friend. Always run as fast as you safely can and as far as you can from the threat. When entering a new environment, pay attention to your surroundings and familiarize yourself with exit routes and places you may be able to move to safely. Remember, incidents can happen anywhere, no matter how safe you may feel.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine yourself?
Fine, thank you. Want a chicken?
Yes, please, Davies.
Okay, you'll be in room number 2.
When you are working in the field, make sure you and your team plan their foot and vehicle rendezvous points. You will only have moments to run or to drive to them and plan your next move. Your survival is your utmost priority. Sometimes trying to help others can hinder the survival of everyone involved. Finding cover from view will not stop bullets that are heading in your direction. It is critical to reassess your situation and continue to take further action. Even if you are injured in the process, keep moving to reach safety. When you reach an area where you're confident you'll be safe, contact authorities as soon as possible. Remain alert for additional threats and consider your next move. If you hear a pause in the shooting, the weapon may be jammed or being reloaded. This could be a good time to run if you have the opportunity. Defending yourself is always the most dangerous of the three choices, but it may be your only option. This is the time you might have to do something extraordinary to stay alive. Any object you can find that can stop the shooter will suffice. Focus on the shooter's ability to see, breathe, and control his weapon. Most active shooter incidents are over within 10 to 15 minutes. When authorities arrive, approach cautiously, with your hands above your head. Remember that they won't be aware of who the shooter is and who the victims are. so avoid making any quick movements or doing anything that would cause alarm. Lay down on the ground with your hands visible and identify yourself. Remember that the authorities' sole goal at this point is to neutralize the shooter, so don't expect to be attended to right away.
Police, hands up!
Active shooter situations are extremely tense and chaotic events. Remember to breathe and to remain as calm as you can, while you stay alert and ready to implement your next move. Speed and distance are your best chance to survive. Remember that prioritizing your own safety and being able to alert authorities as soon as possible is the best way to save the lives of those around you.